Live, everyone. The Biden administration moving closer to student debt forgiveness. The Education Department announcing new steps to ensure immediate debt cancellation for at least 40,000 borrowers under the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. These steps include an account adjustment to apply certain long-term forbearances towards forgiveness. Plus, the department will also accurately track monthly payments for borrowers on income-driven repayment. The moves are aimed at what the Education Department calls, quote, years of administrative failures that denied the promise of loan forgiveness to certain borrowers.
All right, typically speaking, when a politician makes both sides mad, he or she is doing something right. It's called compromise, and that's usually what happens. But that may not be the case with President Biden's latest action to bring down the price of gas. Rick Newman here with the policy change. And Rick, first, I want to start with the timing of this. Friday night ahead of a holiday weekend, not typically when you want to deliver good news.
Delivered on Good Friday when many people were heading out for the Easter weekend was that, yes, he is going to allow the leasing of some federal land for oil and gas drilling, but it's going to be a lot less than he could have leased. And at the same time, he's going to raise the royalty rate that drillers have to pay by 50%. So I guess that was meant to be a message to environmentalists and climate activists saying he's not going to give the oil and gas industry very much. But look what happened. I mean, on Monday and Tuesday morning, I saw all the environmental groups like the Sierra Club and others bashing Biden, calling this a reckless move. They wanted him to completely ban federal drilling on federal lands. And that's actually what he said he would do as a candidate. So Biden is in a real pickle because he made a campaign promise, which is no more oil and gas drilling on federal land. But look what happens. Now we've got gas prices well over $4 a gallon, not something that Biden anticipated. And he's got to show drivers and many, many regular voters that he's trying to do something on it. So he's doing a little something that's really not going to make a difference in terms of gas prices today, while infuriating environmentalists who feel like he's going against a campaign promise. So he's in kind of a lose-lose situation on this.
Rick, let's continue to talk about campaign promises here, because student debt cancellation was a major campaign discussion talking point for the Biden candidate at the time. And as we've seen the administration move forward, the latest here today is that there are going to be 40,000 borrowers who at least this may apply to. As you consider the inner workings of the White House right now, what does this signal to you about the midterm elections and trying to get some turnout from a core constituency of voters?
Let's just go back to that move on student loans. There's going to be a ton of squealing about this Biden move because if it affects 40,000 borrowers, I'm sure they'll be grateful for whatever relief they can get. But that is a tiny number of borrowers, especially compared to what some Democrats like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren want to do, which is forgive all student debt up to $50,000 or just wipe it all away, which is the Bernie Sanders plan. So this is another great example where Biden is not doing nearly what the liberals in his party want. And honestly, what the liberals in his party want is not reasonable or practical anyway. But he supports the goal, and now he's stuck. He's going to get criticized on this for making what seems like a very modest move that doesn't help enough people, even though from a policy perspective, it's probably fairly prudent and rational, because it's a big problem to just wipe off debt that people have agreed to take on for something that ought to help them get ahead on education. So I think Biden is just going to, some of these policies may actually be prudent, but he's satisfying nobody and he's pissing off everybody. And this is not what you want to do going into a midterm election where you're favored to lose one or both houses of Congress.
Where you're hovering in the low 40s as well. Yeah, there's 40 million Americans that have 1.6 trillion in student debt. So yes, a fraction. Rick Newman, good to see you, sir. Thank you.